welcome back to Everything or Nothing.
Give me a damage report!
I'm Frozen Treasure.
No damage so far, sir, but I'm still checking.
If we didn't take out that guard right then and there, he would have gone on to inform the other two that a hatch was opened, the one we just climbed up through. Of course, if we had taken him out while he was talking, that would have alerted the guards as well. Crouch walking is great for the calves and thighs, not so great for the back. Another incredibly insulting objective. Did they think we'd forgotten somehow? All of the Bond moments on this train are gotten by getting through the cars undetected. It's a nice bonus challenge that keeps this from becoming a boring, repetitive series of shooting galleries. That said, there's nothing wrong with getting a nice headshot.
Just saw some...
He's dead!
Well, that could have gone better, but he technically wasn't alerted to our presence, so the Bond moment still counts. If only Bond villains enforced the buddy system, this would never have happened. Incidentally, the GoldenEye remake does exactly that in the intended stealth sections of the game.
Shed some light on the situation, 007, by using your thermographic vision.
Dispense helpful advice, supply witty puns. Q has his priorities in order. This is a mistake I almost always make with the thermovision, where I don't properly activate it, and it always gets me shot. And here is why I should always use Bond sense to choose my weapons and gadgets. If I don't, it almost always results in me being out in the open against an armed enemy with a useless gadget equipped, fumbling around to try and get the right tool to save my skin. Still, this is nothing if not a good point to show how very easy it is to die if an enemy gets so much as one full uninterrupted second of shooting at us. I've always liked the way Bond games did health before he started regenerating, either having one persistent health meter and a separate armor meter, or, in this case, one meter that's replenished by armor. I like to think that it represents that Bond can actually only take one single bullet before dying, it's just that he keeps getting armored vests to soak up the bullets, presumably magnetic and made of adamantium or something.
I don't suppose we could just talk about this. I guess not.
Jaws is not only deadly, but really annoying if you don't know how to properly deal with him. Of course, the camera and controls being awkwardly focused on him at all times don't make things easier.
The electricity, Bond! It's your only chance!
Somehow I don't quite think that's what Q had in mind. The best punch he can do against Jaws is just make him stumble back a bit, and then make him stumble back a bit more. Luckily, that's all we need. Why are these electrical columns even here? If James stopped to comment on any of this, he'd probably note how shocking it all is.
Dr. Nadanova,
Who are you?
I'm from MI6.
The General is getting away with the nanorobots.
I think we may be reaching the end of the line here. After you.
Can we catch him? Can you fly this, Mr.
Bond. James Bond.
You must destroy that helicopter, 007. The nanotech prototype cannot remain in enemy hands.
Beyond anything else, the helicopter controls would have really benefited from modern-day dual-stick design sensibilities.
Some flares may help to shake those missiles, 007.
As opposed to, say, the face buttons controlling altitude, the left stick moving forward, back and strafing, and the right stick moving the camera, the controls are the same as all vehicles. Forward and backwards are controlled by either the face buttons or the right stick moving up and down, while the left stick adjusts altitude and turns. The biggest mistake you can make is defaulting to using both sticks. Coming off of an entire generation of the right stick moving the camera, I guarantee that will have you flying straight down into the ground when you wanted to move forward whilst turning slightly. Having said that, even without any control issues, this is not the easiest path to follow to begin with.
He's still behind us! Get to the base!
Bond, do not let that helicopter get away.
M seems to think we aren't capable of doing what comes naturally. Anyway, it's impossible to hit the helicopter on account of all the flares, but it certainly makes things more exciting to shoot missiles all over the place.
You're a skillful pilot, Mr. Bond, but no match for me!
Not sure why this general person is talking like he's some sort of big deal in the slightest. And now, just in case it was starting to seem at all realistic in any way,
protected by those shield generators. You'll need to deal with them before continuing on with your mission. Excellent, 007. The shield is weakening.
I'm not entirely certain if this actually constitutes a boss fight, but then it would probably be hard to emotionally invest in any big battle that took place from a vehicle where you can't see the people involved whatsoever. Apparently, if we were to run out of ammo, the fight would still be winnable. Not sure how though, never seen it happen before. I tried this whole time to think of a quip James Bond would make as he destroys the base, but the whole fight just gave me zero material to work with. C'est la vie.
Oh, James. You saved my life. How can I ever repay you?
Allow me to take you to dinner. Next time you're in London.
I'd like that. But until then... Take that as a small down payment.
I look forward to collecting the rest.
Good morning, darling. I deduced the mission was successful.
All of the nanobots were destroyed. Except for one. My gift to you. Courtesy of MI6 and James Bond.
Bond. James Bond?
You know him?
He killed Max Oren. My mentor, my teacher, my friend.
I didn't know. I'm sorry.
How ironic. Bond has now planted the seeds for his own destruction. Soon enough, the world will know and fear the name Nikolai Diavolo.
You'll have everything you desire.
Yes, Katya. Everything. Or nothing.
I cannot criticize anything about Willem Dafoe's performance. I just can't. Even if that last line made basically 0 sense, it was amazing. Now then, those first 2 Bond moments were nice and clear, but the third a little less so. Apparently it was for avoiding those flames in the temple. Boss battles are generally crippling to efficiency, though I would have thought the accuracy would also be pretty far down. I guess hitting the flares counts.
The Spider Explorer, our new field reconnaissance device. You're the first agent to use it, so do be careful, 007. It doesn't climb walls, but it can go places that you can't. Use it to explore ahead of you without being seen, or to retrieve certain objects.
And if you think that's bad, check out the spiders in Australia.
We've added a strobe function to the coin grenades. The flash will stun anyone who sees it. Use this if you get into a tight spot and need to disable your enemies quickly.
Throw it at street performers to escape.
The standard issue dart gun carries a fast action nerve toxin that will immediately render anyone you hit unconscious for a few hours. Its range is limited though, so you'll need to be careful using it at range.
I see you got my memo about the insomnia.
We've upgraded the Cayenne with a cloaking device, 007, which will make you temporarily invisible to your enemies. It has a limited battery life, though, so use it sparingly.
Battery seemed fine in Egypt.
Your Cayenne has now been outfitted with a remote control device, 007. It can be deployed to scout ahead, and the onboard laser can be used to help you access hard-to-reach areas.
That sounds ridiculous, and I'm sure we'll never use it in future missions. More noncept art, as I've come to call it, and that's the end of this first chapter of Everything or Nothing. See you next time.